All right, kia ora, whānau and friends who have joined us today on this live stream interview with Evan Davis. Kia ora,
Kia ora. How are
welcome
you?
to the show. I'm great, thank you. And how about yourself?
Yeah, we're both in our houses with our beautiful backdrops. Mine
Yes,
with
I know.
my charger here.
I was thinking about that when I was chatting with Nicola Nardi, with the principal of Spotswood College, and I was thinking, oh no, I'm going to have to move a few things behind me
Yeah,
because it wasn't looking too great. But
yeah.
yes, we're in our safe bubbles. That's the main thing. How's your lockdown going so far, Evan?
Pretty good. Just enjoying the time with my whānau and actually catching up on my thoughts and just hanging out really and just trying to enjoy it and remember the good things and just I'm just making the most of it. I'm not complaining. I don't love it, but I am just enjoying coming up for a year a little bit.
Nice. Yes, I feel you on that one. I suppose it was quite a kind of sporadic moment that we took. That we were suddenly now into a level 4 lockdown, and working at New Plymouth Boys High School. What was that like when you guys found out at such short notice? Like, how did you guys manage to work it all out on such short notice for the students there?
Well, we got told last week to make sure that we always take our chargers home for our laptop.
Yes.
So we, there was just that idea that it was like we had to, just be aware of those things, and so we kind of just had our stuff ready, and you never knew. Like, I didn't think it was going to happen that soon, but you just didn't know.
Yes. I think it was all quite a shock. I even gasped a bit when I heard Jacinda say, as of 11:59 p.m. we're going into lockdown. I was like, gosh.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not ready for that.
It's a bit of a mind trip, because there's a lot of good and bad memories of the last lockdown. Just that feeling of, where you don't feel like you're in control, and you feel like you don't quite know. Like, last time we didn't know much about COVID at the start, and now we don't know much about Delta, and so there's a potential, to be a bit fearful. But my perspective is, there's so much beauty out there, and still so many good people, and I'm just dwelling on those good things, and we live in a country where we've got a good government that actually generally really cares about us, and I'll just shut up and do what they say at the moment. Again, it works all right.
Oh, total of that. That's for sure. Yes, I agree with you right there, Evan. That's awesome. Well, so what does that mean for the students now? Are they doing like online learning, or how does that work?
So our school said yesterday, just catch your breath to everyone, and then post up some stuff on Google Classroom for those that can manage it. Everyone's in different situations. Obviously, it's complex for some people because they might have younger siblings at home and their parents might still be having to work, so they're not going to get much schoolwork done, and we understand that. So it's just doing what you can, and some subjects it's easier to set work than for others. So you just do what you can, and the kids, if they can get a bit of work done each day, great. Every family's different. Every whānau has their own needs and demands, and the priority, I think, for our school is always ho ora first. Your well-being, your whānau, and then look to do our work, because it's a new situation, even though it's not new. We've just got to adapt.
Yes, totally. And I think that's what a lot of teachers are saying at the moment, your well-being comes first, obviously.
Yeah,
totally.
100%.
Totally. Hey, but, we kind of didn't come on here to chat about COVID-19, but of course that's the issue at the moment. But the actual reason we have got you on the show today is because of a waiata that you have composed with the help of Te Reo English. How did this happen?
So I wrote this. I was doing some recording for an EP that I released in February called Flickering Stars, and I had this one song that I'd written called Truly Free. And so the song really, so just a little bit of background, but a few years ago I ended up working on songwriting in a prison, and I ended up starting working with Julian Arahanga on the series Songs from the Inside, where the musicians went into the different prisons, and And so that was such a profound experience for me, because I saw lots of really, really broken people, but I also saw people that seemed to be really free because they'd accepted their brokenness and they had nowhere lower to go. And there was something ironically a little bit enviable about some of those people. I'm not saying that I envy people in prison, but when you have everything stripped away from you, you kind of only accept real things. Like, you feel love when it's real, and you only care about the things in life that really matter, like your family and those people who are loyal to you. And so I learned a lot from those times about freedom, and it kind of twisted it's on its head, because we seem to associate freedom with wealth and with success or appearance, and lots of people when they're broken seem to feel like they're at the worst place. But my take on it is, you're actually, you don't have to dwell there, but actually realizing that you are the freest you can be, because then you can actually really accept people's love, and you can accept and rely on others and not rely on yourself. And there's nothing wrong with that. So the waiata was birthed out of that. Because when you're broken, the line says you're truly free. And then I just thought I would love to hear. I thought, ironically, I'd written a play about how our domestic violence rate is one of the highest in the country, but how our history through Te Whiti is one of non-violence, and the irony of having a situation where we have a heritage of basically huge courage through non-violence and a present of violence. And so I had been thinking a lot about these things. So when I was writing Truly Free, part of me was thinking about the brokenness of the people of the Māori at Parihaka, and therefore it seemed to me a logical thing to try and get this translated into Māori, and it was amazing. So I just emailed Te Wānanga, and I had never met Te Ingoa, and they put me through to Te Ingoa, and she emailed me and said I'd be keen to talk about this, and then we just got talking, and then I ended up spending ages with her, because she was like a fountain of knowledge for me.
Oh, I bet. Wow. And then she came up with the translation for your waiata.
And it kind of has a Taranaki angle on it as well. It's not just...
Wow. And wow, that's such an awesome story to, that led you to this pathway into this particular waiata. That's beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Wow. Very cool. And so the waiata itself is about truly being free.
Yeah. So when I play the song live, I sing. I wanted to honor the reo. So I've made this song a combination of English and Māori, and kind of equal parts. And so the song really talks about my own story, and I'll play it to you soon if you like. But it looks at the idea of that comparison trap that we can often get into, and comparing ourselves to other people. But when you move away from that, the irony is that we think that when we become more like those people, then we're more acceptable. But then the irony is, when we move further away from those people, we become more acceptable because we're more ourselves.
Right.
So it just talks about that comparison trap, and then how through life and I had some really challenging times as a kid, as lots of people do, and a lot of fear around not my home. My home was incredible, but I had a lot of trauma and fear, and so a lot of that made me kind of look for people's affirmation, because I always felt a little bit vulnerable, and the song is literally just learning to say, hey, where I'm at right now is okay,
Beautiful. Oh, I'm very excited to hear your waiata. And we're very lucky enough to be privileged to hear you right now, Evans. You've got your guitar in front of you already.
I do. I'll just
so awesome.
Push that back. So I'll play you. I'll play you some of it, and it's called.
Yay.
It's called Truly Free, or it's called Here Kore Rawa. And massive thanks to my friend Te Reo for this. And yeah, my hope is that maybe the song will lift whoever's listening at this time, and a reminder. I often look at our situation in our country and feel like, it's too bad. At times it seems too bad, but I do feel like if we band together and we support one another and we accept people when they're broken, then we can actually, and we work together, we can actually find a way together to restore non-violence and love and acceptance and value for everyone, and that's kind of, I guess, what the song's about.
Beautiful. And everyone has their own stories, don't they? They have
100%.
their own stories.
We just have to listen, right?
Yeah, totally. Well, I'm going to let you go for it, all right, Evan?
Okay.
Kia ora.
I used to compare myself to the sound of somebody else, trapped by the lie that I'd fall on my feet when I did. Comparing got me nowhere. It's a wide and empty place. You gotta listen to your own music and let the discourse in your head. I'm on my knees, lift my hands toward the heaven. I'm on my knees, raise my voice, I will sing. I'm on my knees, the world belongs to those who are broken. I'm on my knees, 'cause when you're broken, you're truly free. Hey, whakaturite kumahi e a kirongoke. He rua mahanga rainbow nei kangi angi te tōranga. Te tuku whakaturite, he rua hono tangata. Whakaopu ki tō hauake, te aro ki te o tupuhi a tuturia. Whatoro ake, ki rangi nui. Ka tuturia, ka ohu takura, iriri e. Ka tuturia, o te hunga, maru te ao. Ka tuturia, maru ana, here korera wa. Cause when you're broken, you're truly free. Yeah. Maru ana, here korera wa.
Woohoo! That was awesome. Oh,
Thank you,
well
my friend.
done, Evan. Beautiful. And
I was
love
actually really nervous because I feel the pressure of representing the reo and like I don't mind stuffing up the English, but I wanted to. It meant something for me to because I'm trying to honor that, and I wanted to get it right, you know.
Well, I think that your pronunciation sounded pretty good. So you're doing very, very well, Evan. And oh, wow, I feel so privileged that I was able to watch you perform that waiata. I also really love how it's bilingual as well. That's so cool. Thank you so much. Awesome.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Hey, all the very best with the rest of lockdown. And thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, my friend. And yeah, love and safety and warmth, and to your whānau who are listening. So take care, everyone.